What's up guys, it's Aaronitmar, and in today's video I wanted to talk about different characters and the evidence that has been compiled as to the argument for them coming in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. A Reddit thread was started by the user JWex talking about certain characters, and as he received comments, he updated his post with a bunch of extra information about each of these characters and decent arguments for them being in Smash. Now keep in mind that I'm not saying, and nor is this thread saying, that these characters are going to be in Smash. This is just some kind of circumstantial evidence that suggests that maybe they could be coming to Smash, or maybe this is just circumstantial evidence in which nothing will actually happen and it just happens to be kind of a coincidence or kind of very suspicious information. But regardless, let's jump into it. I just wanted to make sure that these people got credited properly. So the first one is the most convincing, it has the most compelling arguments, and that is Bandana Waddle Dee, or simply Bandana Dee. Bandana Dee's evidence actually links back to Daisy's, and in fact it links to a Daisy amiibo, in which in the amiibo's code, it has functionality for other games in the future and not just, the certain games that the game was released for. Which led us to believe that Daisy could be in Smash because it has codes for future games that have yet to be included or released for the amiibo functionality or compatibility. And that makes sense because they did discuss that all amiibo of a certain character, even if they aren't specifically to Smash, will work in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And as it turns out, Waddle Dee's amiibo actually has a similar code, which gives it functionality in additional games that aren't just the game that it was made for. So, this causes speculation for Waddle Dee to be in Super Smash Bros. There was also additional information pointed out by the user MadMapmanPK, which talks about Bandana Dee in King Dedede's Final Smash. In Dedede's new Final Smash cage fight, the game that this originates from has a Bandana Dee in the actual cage fight scene. But he's not present in King Dedede's new Final Smash, which is that cage fight. So it's interesting that he's not there, even though it seems like he should be. Which could be because he's not in that sequence because he is in the actual Super Smash Bros. Roster. So that's all of the Bandana Dee evidence, and it's pretty convincing. I'm now about 70-30, maybe 75-25 on being convinced that Bandana Waddle Dee is in the game. 4 Kirby reps does seem like a little much to me, but it would be cool to see, and perhaps there would be a really nice moveset to go with it. Now, like I said, Bandana Dee was the one with the most evidence. Now we get into a lot more speculation with the rest of the characters on this list, but I figured it'd be cool to talk about them anyway. So let's jump into it with Simon Belmont from Castlevania. Now, Simon Belmont was included in a leak from a very reliable and usually accurate game leaker named Vergabin. So I made a video on this leak, and Vergabin talks about in the leak Ice Climbers returning and Ridley being a brand new character, which both is pretty powerful. Ice Climbers was a pretty easy guess, so it would have been easy to guess that they were returning, but Ridley being a new character seemed very unlikely, and we got it, and Vergabin predicted it, so that must mean that he has some kind of insider information, or he's just a good guesser. But he also included Simon Belmont in this leak, so if we are to believe that his leak was accurate, then we must assume Simon Belmont is going to be in the game. Isabelle was also posted about by Vergabin, and apparently it was removed from GameFAQ mods in order to prevent trolling, but Vergabin said that the fighter Isabelle was coming to Smash Ultimate, which is interesting because she was previously an assist trophy, and we've seen a lot of returning assist trophies already, but we've yet to see Isabelle in any kind of footage or any kind of confirmation, so it's very possible that Isabelle is going to be a fighter. Keep in mind that that's circumstantial, but we also have Vergabin, who has been accurate very much so in the past, so like I said, we might be seeing Isabelle in the game. There are a few circumstantial pieces of evidence that point to Gino being in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. The first was an interview that Sakurai gave where he talked about Gino's popularity worldwide as a fighter and how he knew how popular this character was. And on a personal note, he said that not only does he want Gino to be a fighter, he's actually wanted this since Super Smash Bros. Brawl, which personally makes it really a shock that he wasn't in the game, because if Sakurai wanted it, he could have just done it, So it's pretty interesting to me, but that is all that Sakurai had to say, was that he knew it was popular and he personally wanted it. The next is Square Enix's relationship with Nintendo. They allowed Cloud, one of their most prized and popular IPs to be in Smash, which shows, I think, that they have faith in the company and that they trust Nintendo to do their character justice. So if they're willing to use one of their most important characters and give it to Nintendo to use in the game, they should absolutely be on board with adding a Nintendo cross Square Enix character in Smash now that they know that Nintendo is trustworthy. And finally is that Gino was a Mii skin in Smash 4, so he's obviously acknowledged as a character. But Gino was actually a very special case because he was the only Mii skin which received a splash screen. All of the other Mii fighters who had skins who were characters, Knuckles, Tails, there was Heihachi, all of these characters didn't receive any splash screens, but Gino did. So he's kind of a special case, it seems. So maybe that could point to him as a fighter in the next game. Next up is Chorus Kids from Rhythm Heaven. This is basically kind of regurgitated information from Smash 4, but I think it's important to talk about anyway. First, in a Smash 4 data mine, it was found that there was a character icon for Chorus Kids, which means maybe they were planned and scrapped early, maybe it was just a placeholder, who knows, but that's there, so we can't ignore that. Smash Run also had a representative from the Rhythm Heaven series, which was the Sneaky Spirits. Apparently there were only 2 series which had representatives in Smash Run that weren't actual fighters. The first was Ice Climbers, and it's well known that the Ice Climbers weren't on the game because of 3DS limitations, and now Rhythm Heaven, which is interesting because it might point to Rhythm Heaven being a plausible series to pull a character from. I mean, there's no reason for there to be enemies and things from this series if there wasn't originally at least going to be a fighter included. Next is Banjo Kazooie. Head executive of Xbox, Phil Spencer, tweeted that he was willing to allow Banjo Kazooie to be in Super Smash Bros., which is a big deal because while Banjo Kazooie is a Microsoft IP, if a head person at Microsoft is saying that they're willing to let the character be in the game, nothing is stopping them except for, I guess, the development of the game itself then. So I think that's pretty interesting. Vergaben has also stated that in Smash Ultimate there may be some Minecraft representation, which opens up the door to more Microsoft properties being in the game, because as we know, Microsoft in the last couple years purchased Mojang, the company which develops Minecraft. So if Minecraft can get in, then anything is possible. Now this is far more circumstantial than anything else, but the social media accounts for both Nintendo and Xbox are a bit friendly with each other. They've been known to tweet back and forth and have a little bit of fun. When Minecraft came out for the Nintendo Switch, Nintendo tweeted that Xbox should play with Nintendo and, sort of having fun while also talking about crossplay in kind of a promotional way. And more recently, they had a bit of fun at Sony's expense because there was a whole scandal with Sony not allowing accounts on the Switch or the Xbox if they had already played on a PS4 account for Fortnite. So there was kind of some fun played at that expense as well, while also kind of saying, hey, you should buy a Switch or Xbox, we're not going to ban you. But it does seem that they have kind of a more friendly than rival kind of relationship. Some people seem to think that Tingle may also be a playable fighter, although personally I actually don't think that this will happen, but some people gave some evidence, so I think it's worth noting. The first is that he was previously an assist trophy in Brawl and Smash 4, and he has not yet been confirmed as an assist trophy, but like with Isabelle, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be a fighter, it just means that they haven't revealed them as an assist trophy yet. Perhaps they're just going to be retired as an assist trophy. It doesn't necessarily guarantee that the only thing left for them to be is a fighter. They could just not be in the game. The other is that the Great Base stage from Melee is returning, and on that stage of Melee, Tingle makes an appearance. He becomes kind of a platform that you can stand on or pop, and he becomes kind of part of the environment. There has been no footage or screenshots of Tingle on the Great Base stage yet, but like I said, for the assist trophy half, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's not going to be on the stage. It just means that maybe they haven't gotten to that part, or maybe they just haven't shown him on the stage yet. But either way, it doesn't necessarily guarantee that he's going to be a fighter. It just means that he hasn't been shown in any other aspect either. Next, let's talk about Dark Samus, which is a character that I'm actually a little convinced could be in the game. First off is, of course, that we have not seen Dark Samus as an assist trophy yet. Like I said about the last one and about Isabelle, that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be a fighter, but it is worth noting that they aren't shown as an assist trophy yet. The second, which I think is very good evidence, is that Samus no longer has a Dark Samus palette swap option from the demo that we could see. In Smash 4, when they increased the costume number up to 8 for 8-player Smash, she was given a dark blue and light blue variant, which was based on Dark Samus. But she no longer has that, at least according to the demo. She now has this new black one, which kind of replaces this one, but also has a new color in and of itself. So it's pretty interesting that maybe Dark Samus is going to be a fighter, and the reason that they got rid of that is because it would be confusing if you picked the Dark Samus color and had Dark Samus on the screen at the same time. Just a thought, it's kind of circumstantial like I said, but pretty interesting nonetheless. There's also a little bit more speculation. Every character since Smash 4 has had art about them when they were revealed. But for some reason, there's no art of Ridley. We even have Inkling art, so the trend continues into Smash Ultimate, obviously, but we still don't have Ridley art. And this is because people seem to think that Dark Samus is going to be involved in Ridley's art for the reveal. And because we haven't seen Ridley's yet, it's because they haven't revealed this fighter, so we're not going to see that art until Dark Samus is revealed. All of this evidence together really makes me think that Dark Samus is going to be in the game. Now, whether she's going to be an Echo Fighter of Samus or a brand new character, that obviously remains to be seen, but I do think that Dark Samus is going to be included in some way, shape, or form. Next, let's talk about Chrom. The trailer for Lucina and Robin has Chrom saying that he'll get his chance some other day, and Smash Ultimate could be that some other day. Of course, that could have just been dialogue for the trailer, but who knows, we could see Chrom in the new game. On top of that, just like with Samus, in Smash 4, Ike had a color swap that was based on Chrom. He now no longer has that swap, which again could be because they didn't want it to be confusing when Chrom is actually going to be in the game. Chrom was also confirmed in a Gematsu leak, which actually accurately predicted several Smash 4 newcomers in the game before they were revealed. The Chorus Kids were also included in this Gematsu leak, so it's possible that the creator kind of just guessed, or that Chrom and the Chorus Kids were going to be included and then were scrapped at some point. Chrom was also in Robin's final smash in Smash 4, and for Smash Ultimate, we have yet to see Robin's final smash. This is possibly because they don't want to drop the revelation that Chrom is going to be a fighter, or rather won't be in Robin's new final smash if Chrom is going to be his own fighter. Obviously, Robin would need a new final smash that didn't include Chrom if Chrom is himself going to be a character in the game. Dixie Kong has decent evidence for being in the game as well, perhaps as an Echo Fighter of Diddy Kong. One of the strongest arguments here is that Diddy now has a jab that does not include his tail, which would then make it easier for Dixie Kong to be a clone of him. One of the things preventing Dixie from being a Diddy Kong clone is that Dixie actually doesn't have a tail, so it wouldn't be possible for her to use her tail in his long-form jab. But now that Diddy does not use his tail, Dixie makes a much more comfortable transition into a clone character. Diddy also had a pink recolor in Smash 4, but no longer has that in Smash Ultimate that we have seen. So again, kind of like the Dark Samus or Chrom situation, we could be seeing a replacement of a color in order to avoid confusion. Dixie Kong was also one of the Forbidden 7 who were not included in Brawl, but were initially planned to, so perhaps this is finally her time. And finally, King K Rool. First off, Nintendo actually trademarked his name in 2015, even though he hasn't been included in any kind of game since 2008. And then of course there's also the King K Rool costume from Smash 4 for the Mii fighters, so it means that they know that King K Rool is kind of wanted, so maybe they will actually make him a full character in Smash Ultimate. But that is all the characters that were discussed in this specific Reddit post. Like I said, credit goes to all of those people who compiled information, who made different theories and things. And then, of course, to the original poster, JWEX, for compiling it, adding new people's information as they commented. This is a very good thread, so I'm going to link it down in the description if you'd like to read it for yourself. But that, guys, of course, is going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit the like button down below. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe because I cover Smash content every single week. And I will see you guys next time for another video. Peace out, have a good day.